Hello everyone, welcome to my new science school computer class. In this class, we are going back in history and briefly discuss the history of computer, and along the evolutionary timeline of computer, we'll mention some important personalities and appreciate their inventions which contribute to the technology that gave birth to modern computer we see today. This is episode 2 of computer series. In episode 1, which is the very first lesson, we define computer. We define hardware and software, we gave example, and we define data and information, and we learn the difference between the two. So if you haven't watched the first lesson, it's good to check it out. Now, let's continue with the history of computer. So the history of computers can be presented through several key periods and milestones. We shall now know some of the events and their periods. Through the course of this lesson, I will divide the periods into pre-computer and computer age. We have pre-computer, which is before 19th century. Then computer age, which will be from 19th century to date. Now, before we proceed, we need to translate, or we need to know the actual meaning of the word computer. The word computer the word compute means calculate. So if I say compute the acceleration due to gravity, I mean calculate the acceleration due to gravity. That is how we do in physics classes. So when we add suffix and make the word computer, we mean calculator. So computer simply means calculator. The earlier inventions that lead to computer today are not actual computer. They are calculating devices. So we see something like abacus. So early counting devices and mechanical aid include abacus. So the first non-calculating device was abacus. Then Blaise Pascal also invented another machine called Pascaline machine, which is also another calculating device. Now let's see them one by one. This is abacus. We are not going into details about how these machines were used. We are just mentioning some important features of these machines. This is abacus. So abacus has frame, rod, beads, and beam. These are the beads, and we can see the frame, we can see the bar, also beads. So this bead we see were used as the counting element or digit, and this abacus was used based on decimal places, or based on place value. We have here as the unit, then tens, then hundred, and so on and so forth. For example, if this bar has only 2 bits, that means it is just 2 units, while on this bar represent tens. So if we have 3 bits there, then we have 30, and so on and so forth to this bar, which is representing thousands. 2 bits there represent 2000. Then using abacus, you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, which is the use of this machine or tools. Then we have another machine invented by John Napier, who was a Scottish mathematician. The machine invented by this scientist is called Napier's bones. The Napier's bones has this component: number rods, index rod, diagonal, all these components, and this is the tools. Also, this machine used for multiplication, division, square roots. So as we can see, all these machines or tools are simply used to operate those addition, subtraction, and others. They are helping scientists at that time to do some addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Then another invention by William Oughtred, an English mathematician, also Anglican clergyman, invented a tools or machine called slide rule. That slide rule was used to do some mathematical calculations. So these are the components of the machine. We have stator, we have slide cursor. So this is a ruler, here is a ruler, in between another ruler which can be slide in and out based on the calculation you wanted to do or they wanted to do. And it has a cursor here and on the window. This is also metal window which reading can be taken from. So the use of this machine is multiplication, division, also roots. Another invention by another scientist called Blaise Pascal, who was a French mathematician, physicist, inventor. He invented a machine called Pascaline machine. This machine also helped scientists at that time to do some basic calculations. So let's see Pascaline machine. This Pascaline machine, if you can see closely, here is a number, here is another number or a point where you can see numbers. So this machine has some features like decimal. It uses decimal and also carry mechanism. For example, if you are counting or if you are doing addition, when you reach, for example, 10 or 11, you carry 1. So this machine also used by carrying numbers. So the machine was used to do addition, subtraction, but not multiplication or division. As you can see, it has different components, wheels, and numbers written on a drum, something like that. So then another invention by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, who invented a machine that was named after him, the Leibniz machine. So is German polymath, and this is machine that he invented. Leibniz multiplier is the name of the machine. The machine can be also called stepped reckoner. So machine performs some basic operations. These are the components of the machine. We have input dials, this multiplier, all these are components and these are the features. So for the sake of knowledge, you can write this down. Then uses of this machine are the machine was used to do calculation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Then another invention by Joseph Marie Charles Jacquard. This man invented a machine called Jacquard loom. This machine primarily was invented for a textile industry. So this machine used punch card. It used punch card. Punch card were used for making different design on fabrics. So it's semi-programmable. Let me say just programmable. And these are the features of the machine. So, and the machine was used primarily in textile industries and precursor for computing, because the machine directly inspired Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage is the next scientist. The machine used punch card. Punch card was used to program the machine to produce intricate design on fabrics. The ability of this machine to be programmed using punch card had served the source of inspiration to a great scientist called Charles Babbage, who is considered the father of computer. With that, technology led us to early programmable machines. In the 1820s, Charles Babbage developed a machine called difference engine for automated mathematical table calculations. And in 1830s, still Babbage designed the analytical engine, considered the blueprint for the first general purpose and mechanical computers, or computer rather, featuring an arithmetic logic unit, control flow, and memory. So who is Charles Babbage? This is him. Charles Babbage was an English polymath, a mathematician, philosopher, inventor, and mechanical engineer. So in 20s, he invented difference engine, while in 1830s, he invented analytical engine. This is difference engine. So difference engine was an automated mechanical calculator. And again, this is the engine, and the component of the calculator or the component of this machine includes columns, printing sections, and hand crank, where you will use hand to rotate crank for calculation. And these are the features of this engine. Then the next engine invented by the Charles Babbage was analytical engine. So this is analytical engine. Analytical engine considered the blueprint for the general purpose computers. So component including CPU, which was mu and has memory, and also internal control. So features of this machine include this. Then the use of this machine, the machine was used to perform complex calculations and direct precursor for modern computers. The next scientist on the list is Hermann Hollerith. Was a German-American statistician, also inventor and businessman. So he invented a machine called Hollerith tabulating machine. So this is the machine. This machine was used during 1990 US census. So this machine can be also called Hollerith census machine, and the machine was used for processing data. This machine also used punch card. What is punch card? This is punch card. A punch card was used by earlier computing devices for coding and encoding information. Punch card was very thick paper or something similar. Information or codes were written on the paper by punching through the paper at a specific place. So the pattern of the holes on the paper or through the paper would tell the machine or the user, that is programmers, what is being coded on the paper. That means the number and position of points or holes on the card are different for different information. Collectively, the points can be called codes. Now that we have learned little about the punch card, let's move to another scientist who was the first programmer. In 1840s, Ada Lovelace wrote the world's first computer program. This first computer program was for the Babbage analytical engine. So this was the first to program computer, to write computer program. So the program was written for Babbage analytical engine. Now, let's see another scientist called Alan Turing, who introduced the theoretical concept of the Turing machine. Who is Alan Turing? This is the person. So, Alan Turing was an English mathematician, computer scientist, and logician, also a philosopher. So, he invented a machine called Turing machine. This is Turing machine. So, these are the components of Turing machine. Then the features, then the uses of Turing machine was theoretical tools, also universal machine. This is another picture of it. Now, all these scientists we mentioned earlier, they contribute to the development of the earlier computers, but their own invention are not real computers. They are just there to do mathematical calculation. So now let's move to the computer age. Computer age starting from the 19th century to date. So along the course, we have different generations of computer based on the new technology evolved. Let's start with first generation computers. First generation computers, the technology there was a vacuum tube and dated 1940 to 1955. The characteristic of these computers, including they were very big and they used a vacuum tube for their circuitry, and also it generates significant heat. So example of this machine or example of these computers include this Conrad Zuse, who built the Z3 computer. So these are some features of this computer, and we have the notable one, which is ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, who was unveiled in the US, one of the first general purpose computers. So the technology used then was vacuum tube. So what is vacuum tube? This is vacuum tube. This was the technology used to build first generation computer, and this is the first generation computer, ENIAC. Then we have another picture. We have another picture of ENIAC. So these are the people that invented the ENIAC. These are the components, include vacuum tube, which are approximately 7,000 in number, and which include crystal diode resistors, etc. Here the features include they are massive, almost room size, and generate heat. Also they offer very high speed calculations. Then another example of first generation computer is this, which were used in artillery firing, also atomic energy and weaponry, etc. This is EDVAC, another first generation computer, and also is very big computer. Now this is the component, include magnetic tube, and we have reader, record, and control unit. All these are components in the features here. This is UNIVAC, another first generation computer. Is another these are the component of the UNIVAC, and these are the features. Then the uses of this machine was commercial data processing, then census data, then military and defense, then economic and market analysis, then insurance company uses this machine also at that time. And that brings us to new technology that marked the end of first generation computer and the beginning of second generation computer, which was called transistor era. Invention of transistor replaced the vacuum tube, leading to smaller, more reliable, and energy efficient computers. Computers become smaller and faster. So the era is called transistor era. We moved from vacuum tube to transistor, and this is transistor. Then this is the second generation computer. So at least it is not as massive as the first generation and is faster and more energy efficient. This is another picture showing the second generation computer. Now, third generation computer. Third generation of computer was marked by invention of integrated circuit. Integrated circuit was the modification of the earlier technology, which was transistor. It was found that many transistors can be grouped together to form chip, which was the computer chip. The chip was called IC, and it's still the IC we know today. So IC translates as integrated circuit, consists of many transistors put together on a single chip, that is the IC. This further minimized the computer, make the computer very smaller than the previous second generation. And this technology also increased the speed, processing speed, also make them more affordable. Therefore, the technology that gave birth to first generation computer was vacuum tube. Second generation was transistor. Then the third generation was integrated circuit, also known as IC. Then these are the IC, example of IC. This is IC. The single transistor, then integrated, putting together many transistors together to form a single chip. This is an example of a single chip, or also known as IC. Example of third generation computer are these. This third generation computer, again, this is third generation computer. Then now, fourth generation computers. The technology gotten from the third generation computer is now further developed into, and now we have chip from third generation computer. The chip now is further enhanced into microprocessor. The microprocessor was very complex IC, putting together many different components of computer into or onto a single chip. That further reduced the machine size, and on the other hand, increased the efficiency and the speed of the machine, and also the affordability of the machine. So many people can have access to the machine because now it's very small in size and less cost to produce, and very efficient and very speed, and it consumes and produce less heat. It consumes less electricity and also produce less heat than the previous generations. Another technologies accompanying these microprocessor include availability of floppy disks for storage, also invention of World Wide Web, which is WW, in 1990s by Tim Berners-Lee, which was launched in 1991, transforming how information is processed and shared globally. So, what is integrated circuit? What is the microprocessor? This is microprocessor developed by Intel, which was called Intel 4004 or 4004. This is the chip. And further development in technology give rise to these types of IC, or this kind of IC. And the computers at that time, or the computers that are considered to be the fourth generation that use all this modern technology, are something like this we see. And these are the recent computer we are using today. And there's another one which is a little bit older than the one we saw. Then here is another example of fourth generation computer. Then this is another picture of types of circuit or IC that are used today, which are very complex and very efficient. They consume less energy, produce less heat, also very high speed compared to the earlier technology. Such IC are now called complex integrated circuit. If IC is integrated circuit, then CIC become complex integrated circuit. Then modern computing innovations. Now, the generation we are now, the technology we were using, that is the fourth generation, is still used today, but we are inventing a lot of different technologies on the earlier existing technologies, which give birth to another new generation of computer, which is fifth generation. So now currently we are in fifth generation computers. Fifth generation computers is characterized by invention of Wi-Fi, very strong internet connection, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. So that's the reason we say we are in fifth generation computers, because AI, that is artificial intelligence, is still under development. So example of devices that are currently used or using fifth generation computers include this. We have desktop, we have laptop, we have Chromebook, then notebook, then tablet. These are devices that are currently being used as the fifth generation computers. But most of the technologies, excluding the artificial intelligence and others, are the technologies of the fourth generation computers, which is microprocessor, complex integrated circuit. These are another computers, and this Windows, while this is Mac. Then here is another pictures of different devices, and this is desktop. We have laptop, and the laptop is even convertible. Then we have another computer device that is called Palm Top, which is something like this. This is Palm Top. It's very small computer that can fit into the palm. Finally, this is history of computer from pre-computer age to the computer age. But at the end, let me give a summary of the generations of computer that which is the computer age. First generation computer, the technology was vacuum tube, while second generation computer, the technology was transistor. Then third generation was integrated circuit, that is a combination of different or many resistors on a single chip. Then fourth generation computers are computers that use the IC technology, which is very complex and putting more component, making it microprocessor. So microprocessor and internet, and making the computers affordable to many different individuals. That is the process whereby the computer are now called PC, which is personal computers, because they are very affordable and are very small in size. So, and currently we are in fifth generation computers. Fifth generation computers characterized by presence of very strong internet connection, Wi-Fi, and quantum computing, then invention of artificial intelligence. It is also worth mentioning that from the first generation to the fifth generation, efficiency of the machine increased while the size decreased. Also, the heat generation decreased. So this is very important to note. That development make it easier to carry fifth generation computers everywhere you go than the previous generation, and they are more efficient, high speed, and also very affordable. By this, we come to the end of this lesson. If you understand this lesson and you benefit from it, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. If you want this material for further learning, you can get it. Just talk to us on WhatsApp via this number 081 28 14 18 16. If you have any question regarding this topic or lesson, please put it in the comment section below, or feel free to email us at miningscienceschool@gmail.com. You can also join our live classes on computer, where we teach how to use different computer apps. What you need to do, just use this phone number on WhatsApp or put it in the comment section below. Mining Science School, as always, we wish you success. Thank you. See you in the next lesson.